Hello, everybody. Welcome to the latest video from FPL Affairs, the podcast that discusses our 9-month-long love affair with FPL, including the ins and outs that keep us awake at night. In this latest video, Jack, aka the Master, and myself, the Veteran, we discuss our transfer plans and team selection to date for game week 25. Let's get cracking.
And there's Mo Salah. There goes Haaland. He's on his way again. He's hungry. He's scored. Ice cold precision from Palmer. Oh, Saka! That is a diamond of a goal.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to a croaky FPL Affairs episode with me, Matt, aka the Croaky Veteran, and alongside me, as always, the Veteran. Not the Veteran. That's me, the Master, the Master Idiot, as you wanted to be called, after our idiot guide from the other day. Double out of the way for Everton, and because of that announcement, there's the Aston Villa at home to Liverpool double in 25. So does that intrigue you about switching either to Slot or to Emery as part of your transfer plans?
Well, I think it does. Yeah, I think moving manager does. I basically need to decide probably this week if I'm going to free hit in 29 or not. Right now I am, but I need to basically make a move accordingly. So I'm either going to bring in a Villa player, attack the double in 25 and change manager. Most likely to Emery because it's just the easiest route. I did see Gakpo limp off and Jota's back fit and Darwin came on for him. So I expect him to miss one of the games. So he's quite an easy move out for me. I'd have to obviously downgrade him to like Visser, for example. Excuse me, which would give me the money to go to Slot from Moyes. My initial idea was like Isak to Watkins and Moyes to Emery, but just watching City and knowing Isak and just transferring out Isak just seems mental. So with Watkins having a knock, I'm just not entirely sure I'm going to take that risk. It's a shame that Duran's not still there because that would be a lovely move. To do Gakpo to Duran, that would have been he'd have been the most he'd have been so heavily transferred in by now. But they don't have a backup striker, and so that's kind of making me think about Rashford. But I don't want to jump on that. But that's just not a me move to jump on that because Marlon played there, but then when Rashford came on, he played on the left and he played quite well, in my opinion, in the cup the other day. So yeah, I can go in several directions. There's a nice easy move to do like Lewis Hall to Luca Dean. But right now Lewis Hall's on my bench. But then that would probably clear up the headache of whether to play Mikalenko, Robinson or Hall. Yeah, I think I'm a bit vague this week on which I'm most likely going to bring in a Villa asset and probably Emery. But it's what I do with Gakpo because I don't think he's going to play. So
that would give
might have to.
That would give you triple Villa if you brought in Emery and one of the players you just mentioned, wouldn't it? 'Cause you've already got Rodgers.
Yeah, because I've already got Rodgers, whose place doesn't look as safe as I thought either. With Asensio coming in, Rashford, Marlon, Bailey. You know what I mean? They've got so many attacking options now. They've got Europe to think about. Rodgers so far has pretty much played every minute this season for Aston Villa. So I think he might have his workload eased a little bit. I mean, it's a shame that they had a difficult fixture in the Cup because I think he would have been rested and in true Rodgers fashion scores everywhere
Yeah.
other than the Premier League.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a bit of a conundrum this week. A bit of a conundrum. I'm most likely going to go Emery over Slot because I've just had a taste of the table bonus and I
Yeah.
quite fancy it. Whether I mean Villa technically, obviously the cup game, but they technically just lost 2-0 to Wolves, so I'm not necessarily backing them to give Liverpool much of a game. But it is at home, it is at Villa Park, so maybe they might. So yeah, I'll probably hope that they can get a win to nil in their first fixture, which is Ipswich. And then yeah, maybe they might nick a draw off of Liverpool. But
Because
yeah,
I'm
what
I'm
about you?
I would have had I gone Moyes, I would have definitely swapped to Emery.
Yeah,
As I'm on Slot, I'd like the opportunity of a table bonus, but this is a pickle I'm in. Is if I switch Slot to Emery, then that means going into a Liverpool double, I've got Salah and Diaz only. So I'd feel inclined to then get a third Liverpool player in. So therefore, switching Slot to a Liverpool player and getting Emery in is going to be a -4.
and you don't want a free hit in 29 either, do you?
Yeah. Whereas free hit in 29, having Slot as one of my Liverpool triple up, he'll go either if I transfer him out for a table bonus attempt in game week 26, or just suck it up and leave him to save the transfers. And what my long-term plan has been really, I've always wanted to navigate the blank with just transfers, and especially having up to 5 free transfers. I
Yeah,
can make those at any point. I don't necessarily have to do one each week or roll 1 week and do 2.
yeah,
Depending on fixtures, I could actually roll up to 5 and then make 5 going into the blank game week 29. But my plan really for this week, for game week 25, was Diaz out in place of either a Bournemouth mid or Mbermo. Initially, it was definitely Mbermo.
yeah,
Then, because of how they did against Spurs, I'm thinking, well, I've got Wissa, so could I hold off Mbermo for another week? But the way Bournemouth are playing, I really fancy a Bournemouth mid.
yeah, yeah,
But I don't, which puts me in an umming and ahhing situation between, because Diaz has got 5 points in the last double, only 5 points, and he wasn't doing great before that. So it's thinking, right, could Mbermo do, I'm not sure what Brentford's fixture is actually saying that.
West Ham away.
Yeah, could he do better in that game than Diaz against Wolves and Villa, based on form?
Don't know, don't
But then
know.
also it could be taken into account. The other flip side is Newcastle. Yes, they're away at Man City, and loads of people are selling Gordon for a Bournemouth mid, which is
I'm gonna play him.
understandable. But his form, apart from the Fulham game, he's been on good form, significantly better than Diaz, and it
Yeah, I think
wouldn't
it's like the
surprise
first
me
time he blanked in like 6 games or something silly.
longer than that.
Yeah,
Um, Part of me kind of thinks with Man City's defence that Gordon's quite easily got the form
yeah,
and the opposition to actually in that one game outscored Diaz across Liverpool's
yeah,
two.
Yeah.
I'm sort of weighing up getting rid of one of those two because I don't want to go this week without a Bournemouth mid against Southampton. Sorry about that, but
Hey, I wouldn't back against us at the minute. We're on a run.
of one
Mate,
game.
it's a run. It's a run of one, but we just stop at run. It's a run,
So
and we are at home, and that is a
that's
fortress.
yeah, that's where I'm at. Is I think I'm reluctantly keeping Slot, which
Yeah,
sounds weird to some people, which means
I don't think so. I think if
it's
they win
either
to nil in the first game,
it's
and
either
then yeah,
it's well, we'll go through which player switches when we look at our teams now. So we'll bring it up your bus team first.
yeah, I'm interested in this. So I'm going to play Gordon over Sarr,
Hmm.
definitely. Right now, I've
Okay.
got Mikalenko in over Robinson.
Would you?
Yeah, yeah, I would. But that's what I'm talking about. That Luca Dean move that would just make that really easy. Luca Dean's at 4.6. I could
I've,
do Hall. I could do Hall to Luca Dean, which would free up point 0.5, which would then give me a bit more money in the bank.
hmm.
So I'm also weighing up a hit, which might sound crazy. Yeah,
Jax, possibly.
yeah,
You dig?
yeah. Craziness. Absolute craziness from
Hold
me.
that thought. I need a drink. For
Craziness.
those of you watching, this isn't alcoholic, it's just water.
um, yeah, slightly weighing up a hit.
It's not the 1st of
Cause
April, is it?
yeah, um, I was annoyed of the fact that I couldn't do Flecken to Pickford in this week because that would have been my move, 1,000,000%. But because Flecken's dropped to 4.4, I had point 0.9. I did
Mm.
obviously David Moyes in, and then was point 0.1 off doing it. If I were to make that Hall move,
Mm.
or if I was to like downgrade Gakpo to a Vissa, for example,
Yeah.
I could do Flecken to Martinez, and I could then free up a spot for Mbermo.
Mm.
I'd have to obviously free up money elsewhere, but I'd actually be able to free up that spot. Maybe I'll do a Gordon to Cliver and a Sarr to Mbermo, or a Gordon to Mbermo. So
Mm.
it's like I've hated Brentford goalkeepers since game week 6. I had a lovely opportunity last week to get rid of them, but was point 0.1 off, which is so infuriating.
Mm.
And yeah, I could do Sarr to Cliver afterwards as well, which I think is a nice move because they don't blank in 29 and Palace might, so that would be a nice move.
Mm.
Or down to that what's his name, Dango Altara. That would save me some money,
Yeah.
um, and I'd be able to deal with it. But yeah, I'm gonna start Gordon over Sarr because, like, I agree with you. I mean, if he's fit, Gordon, then yeah, I'll play Gordon over Sarr. But I might do a. I'm not going to get rid of Gakpo, but he did limp off today, and they have got um, what was it back? What's his name? Jota and Nunes.
Jinx.
So yeah, I think he might be at risk. Gakpo. So if Gakpo went to Vissa, that would free up a bit of money.
Mm.
I could obviously bring in Emery, and then I might even have the money to do Gordon to Mbermo at that point
Mm.
for a hit, which I wouldn't mind doing. I think it would put my team in better shape, but it doesn't solve the goalkeeper conundrum. And Gordon can easily outscore Mbermo this week, so I probably wouldn't do it
Mm.
because
Do
I'd
you
have
want
to
to
get
see
rid of the
your
goalkeeper. Yeah.
Do you want to see your hub? Any predictions? What you think it might
Well,
be?
it's probably gonna be Luca Dean, I reckon, because he's got 2 fixtures and he's pretty nailed and he's got good attacking threat. But I am still considering Isak to Watkins, but he's going to have to be signed off fit, as you like, because I just think that's a bad move. But I might get away with it over the next few weeks, or it might be an absolutely cataclysmic mistake, but we'll see. Yeah, I reckon Luca Dean. Well, that's boring. That's making me think I should roll now.
Yeah, it's recommend rolling that there's no one on the market to match or improve your team.
Well, I'm definitely doing Moyes to Emery. There is again a chance that I, if in doubt, do now. If Watkins isn't fit, then I probably will just roll. You know, I'm like to come up with all these ideas, and then I don't really like all of them that much. So we come back next week and I go like that. Well, yeah, I know I said I thought about all these other moves, but I just did nothing in the end. But that would put me in a really strong position to not have to free hit in game week 29. Because I then have 2 free transfers next week. And again, I might spend one of them on the manager. So, yeah, I just need to, I'm going to roll. I know I am. But, yeah, what about you?
Right, well, my bus team's showing up as Pickford with a back three of Gabriel, Munoz, Robinson. That's benching Williams or Hull. Midfielder Mo Salah, Luis Diaz, Rogers and Palmer. Front three of Isak, Wissa and Wood. With, therefore, Gordon at the benched one of my attacking front 8. Where I'm...
That's another 50-50, Robinson and Williams.
Because what's... Looking how the team is at the moment, what I don't like is I really, really hate having a defender and a forward in my 11 that are opposing. So at the moment, I've got Robinson in defence at home to Forest, and I've got Wood up front. So the choice is either benching Robinson for, say, Williams, or even Hall for that matter, and hedging my bets that Forest beat Fulham, or at least Wood scores and Robinson blanks. So putting my chips in the Forest side, or if I think Fulham more likely to be victorious, then it's do I transfer out Gordon for, well, I've got Brentford coverage with Wissa and it's away fixture, so I think it would be a bit ambitious doing a Brentford double up for that. So it would most probably be either Gordon or Diaz for a Brentford mid, such as Clivert, for example, because it would be a downgrade in price.
Or you could just play Gordon over Wood and roll. Or you could just play Nico Williams. Not Nico Williams. Yeah, it is that.
Yeah.
For Robinson and roll. Or you could do a manager switch to Emery.
Because I've got Villa covering Rogers. There's no consideration in the slightest of either to Watkins. That has not tempted me for a split second.
That's just a punt for me, but it's a crazy idea, I know. But it's just like one of them things that are either going to go brilliantly or horribly wrong.
It's likely they both blank. Isak, the form he's on over Watkins. He could potentially, even in this week alone, outscore Watkins.
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
And I bought Isak in when he was, I think, 8.4. So his price has gone up 1.1 since I owned him. So, that's the amount of value I've got in him, I'd be planning to bench him in game week 29. along with Salah because of the amount of money I've got invested in them.
Well, that's why I said about free hitting in 29 is,
Mm,
but obviously in the Idiot's Guide to Chip strategy earlier this week, is that I like my Newcastle assets and I like my Liverpool assets, and I don't particularly want to transfer them out.
mm.
Do you know what I mean? To try and get a team for game week 29, and then after game week 29, you start scrambling to get them back in again.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking really is that for if I think solely on a team value perspective, then I've got a lot more rise and value invested in Hall than I do over Gordon, which means Gordon's an easier sell out of the
Yeah,
Newcastle triple up, which means I
yeah.
could have a bit. And Diaz I want rid of because he's just not getting anything and he hasn't for weeks,
So say you
which
did
means for
Gordon to
me,
Cliver. Sorry, go on.
which means for me, I could feasibly have a bench in game week 29 of Salah, Isak, and Hall, and therefore I'd be playing a 4-4-2, where which would be Gabriel, um, Robinson, and Williams, but Munoz would be blanking. So
Him and Rogers
I'd
and
have to
Diaz.
be selling him or Hall, but Munoz has got a good fixture in game week 30, so if I was selling him, I'd be buying him straight back the week after.
If you did Gordon to Cliver, who would you bench?
Gordon to Cliver. Mm. I think if I think it would come down to the Forest Fulham fixture. If I backed Forest, then I'd do Williams in for Robinson and Clivert for Wood, which seems crazy.
Mm.
Um,
Why not Wissa?
or but then also at the same time, really, Brentford away from home,
Yeah,
um, and Clivert's on penalties. Wissa's not. So
Woods on penalties.
yeah, so it would therefore be possibly put Williams in for Robinson, or just hope that Robinson gets an attack in return because he's got far more assists than any other defender in the league at the
Yeah,
moment.
yeah.
So I could put him. So then it's like, well, I'm covering both bases rather than putting all my eggs in one basket, and then put Cliver in for Wissa and Wissa down
Mm,
as my first sub.
mm.
Um, but yeah, with free transfers, I can get to game week 29 and navigate 29 with one hit max. It's just concentrating on removing the Villa, Palace, Newcastle assets plus Diaz, some of them, which means it's likely to be Rogers for sure, Diaz for sure, probably Gordon, plus one of Hall or Munoz.
Mm.
Probably Munoz because I got more money invested in Hall. So yeah, lot to think about, and that brings around really to these decisions. How Jack spoke a lot about game week 29 and using his free hit, and I'm more the opposite of trying to
Mm.
navigate it without. We've got both our chip strategies in our Idiot's Guide to Chip Strategies, which was posted yesterday. No, it was posted this morning actually.
Was
Recorded yesterday. But final thought of my team was in my head 30 seconds ago and has now disappeared, which will probably mean it pops into my head.
Well, I think what you were about to say was that I think chip strategies are going to have to be decided over the next probably 2 game weeks, whether you're going to either free hit 29 or you're not. If I were to do Sarr to Clivert, for example, this week, that would give me a game week 29 player. and therefore I could start to skew towards navigating 29. If I were to roll and just do Emery in for Moyes, that would still give me 2 free transfers with 26, 27 and 28 left to roll another 3 or start to make moves to get rid of the 8 players that I currently have blanking. I could get that down.
Yeah,
So
I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 6, 7, including slot, but slot you don't count because he'll be gone by then.
yeah, it'd be gone by then. Yeah, so that's what I mean. So I would have. I've got Sarr, Rodgers, 3 Liverpool assets, and 3 Newcastle. So I would be similar to you. I would probably bench Isak, Salah, and then one of probably Trent, Gakpo if he's fit, Hall, and Gordon. Gordon probably won't make 29, so I probably would have transferred him out by then, probably for like an Mbermo.
Yeah, there's too many good fixtures for
Or Clivert.
midfielders at the moment.
Yeah, Sarr can go to Clivert, Sarr can go to that Altara.
Yeah.
There are Gakpo can go to Cunha because he's got some nice fixtures coming up.
Mm.
There's loads of there is a really nice way of navigating through. It's just whether I decide to attack this Villa double or whether it's worth it. And to be honest with you, the more I'm talking about it, the more I'm thinking I don't think it is. I might just make the Emery switch, do a Sarr to Clivert, but I'll probably just roll it at that point and just leave Gordon to play Man City if he's fit.
If I was, because I don't like my Liverpool triple up so much for this now, and I think if I had Trent, Gakpo, and Salah like you plus Rodgers and was in the manager situation, I would definitely switch to Emery, and I'd be content that it would be like, right, well, I'm going into a double. I've got 3 Liverpool and 2 Villa covered.
Yeah,
and I'd be content with that. But for me, I'm going to be going in with triple Liverpool and 1 Villa.
Yeah.
And I've actually just remembered what my thought was. Yeah, to avoid using a chip in blank 29, I therefore won't be chasing the upside so much for the here and now. It will be taking out players that blank and replacing them with ones that have got good fixtures in the here and now, which would indirectly mean my team would be becoming more and more template. But then on the flip side, I think, well, that kind of protects my rank a little bit over these few game weeks.
Yeah.
And then people will be using a free hit or come out of game week 29. I'll still have my free hit and have protected my rank, and then can then sort of look at attacking a bit. But yeah, we've spoken a lot about those and my voice is going and going.
Yeah.
So
what's your recommendation?
Well, I know already, obviously, because I took a screenshot. Yeah. What do you think?
I think it's going to take a roll.
Correct.
Yeah.
Same as you.
It's boring. Boring.
Yeah, I'm not. You know full well that I'll do something.
You find something, yeah. You like to find moves. I like to try and find them and then just totally avoid them.
Which is why these next few weeks is going to be a challenge for me, because it's right. Don't be too.
Don't be hasty.
Week by week, I need to make sure I'm always taking into account game week 29 and possibly game week 30, actually, because of when we find out about confirms. But anyway, anything in relation to chip strategy, look up our Idiot's Guide to Chip Strategies that we made this week, and that's got 5 different strategies you can follow. So if you've liked this ish, if it's helped and you can relate to our teams, and let us know what you're planning on doing going into 25. How have you found the assistant manager chip this week? Are you making the switch? And if so, which one too? Contact us, FPL Affairs. Facebook group is entitled FPL Affairs now, YouTube channel at FPL Affairs, and Spotify, lengthy gibberish, as I say always. But please subscribe and leave a comment and like or love our streams, because it makes a big, massive difference. And also, actually, new thought, let us know whether you want us to do a live stream and brave it, because that's something we're considering at the moment.
Would be fun.
Yeah, would be fun. Your final thoughts, Mr. Master?
No, as always, thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe. Tell your friends if they enjoy boring FPL content. Good luck next week. Don't make early moves.
Yeah.
Roll where you can.
Yeah. And I will finish with what I didn't finish with.
No, you didn't.
On my usual finishing line I didn't do in the Idiot's Chip Guide. I remembered after we'd recorded it. But anyway,
idiot move.
Yeah. It was an idiot move, getting forgetful using memory. But thanks again for watching, everybody. Like and subscribe, and all that's left to say from me is keep your FPL affairs under wraps until after the deadline, and spread your team as much as you like all over social media. And think carefully about chip strategy is my actual final plan. But yeah,
and go and watch our video on it.
Yes,
if you don't
definitely.
know.
Please, from a praying person with no voice. Okay, till next week. Good luck next week, everybody, and see you soon. Bye bye.